first thing was this, that when I took over the job, I knew that we needed technology. So what I did first of all was I introduced a very simple piece of technology, which was a buzzer flag. In the stick of the assistant referee's flag, he presses a button and that gives a vibration on the referee's arm. That really is just to attract the attention. And then I watched a game of rugby on television and listened to the referee. I could listen to what the referee was saying. So I went to Twickenham, which is the home of rugby in England, and talked to the referees and spoke to the head of the refereeing at the IRB, International Rugby Board. And I came away and put to the Premier League immediately that I wanted communication kits for referees in England. And so we decided not to go to FIFA for approval because that would take 5 years, 6 years. So what we did was we went out and bought them. So we purchased communication kits and we developed them. And now every country uses communication kits. So the basis was that I'd already introduced technology in several areas of the game. Sports science, which again wasn't used, vision science, sports psychology were all things that I'd introduced. And so here I was one particular midweek watching a game at Old Trafford in the director's box when there was a snapshot on goal, on Manchester United's goal by a Tottenham player. The referee, Mark Clattenburg, was near the halfway line. The assistant was in line with the second rearmost defender, and he'd actually pushed right up towards or near to the halfway line. And the ball went fairly quickly to the Roy Carroll, the goalkeeper. Taken a bit by surprise, he dropped the ball over the line. Now I could see from my position in the director's box that this was a goal. And I looked at my two colleagues, my employees, if you like, and I knew immediately they couldn't do anything about it. Because the one thing we say to referees, do not guess. Only give what you see. And so the goal wasn't given. The outcome of that was pretty dramatic for Tottenham, because if they'd had those points, winning the game, they would have gone to UEFA, into a UEFA competition. So I came back, and at a summer conference of the Premier League, I was asked by the owner of Fulham Football Club, Al Fayed. He was also the owner of Harrods at the time. And he asked me a question publicly in the meeting of all the owners and managers. Given blue sky thinking, what would you introduce to football that would improve the game and improve refereeing? And I went, well, I would introduce goal line technology. And the immediate response was, well, do that. We can afford it. And so I then started a 2-year working relationship with Hawkeye. After 1 year with testing, we got it down to less than a second, the decision, the buzzer. And then it took a further 4 years to convince the IFAB, the governing body, and FIFA that this should be introduced into the game. And I'm pleased to say that 9,000 plus games have gone now with no controversy except one. And that one happened a few weeks ago. I was watching the game, Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. I might say that I'm born and bred in Sheffield, but I'm not a United fan. I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan. But nonetheless, I could see that the ball was over. So I waited for the referee, Michael Oliver, to give the goal. And the instinct is to look at where the assistant referee is. The assistant referee was in line with the second rearmost defender. So it was in a good position. And so I'm thinking, fine, and waited. And then you could see the players, you could see the referee. And I'm almost shouting at the screen saying, please go to the VAR. Please go to the VAR and have a check. And of course, they didn't do that. And you know, I can say that I'm a great supporter of VAR, but let me tell you this, the way that we have introduced and operated VAR in England is a disaster. And because out of 380 games, only on three occasions, has the referee gone to the pitch side monitor.